We all know that having an audience is crucial to having a successful online business. And we know that one of the ways in order to get an audience is to have a really highly converting lead magnet. But what if you've created this amazing lead magnet and you've put it out to the world and it's just not converting? Well, today we're going to be looking at 8 key elements that you need on that landing page in order to help convert people to actually sign up to your lead magnet. If we've not met, my name's Teresa Heath-Wareing and I have worked in marketing for over 20 plus years, and I've spent the last 8-9 years in the online space where I have been helping course creators, membership owners and coaches grow their online business through growing their audience, having a really effective launch strategy and actually selling online. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking you through how to create a highly converting landing page for your lead magnet. There are very specific things that you need to do or that you need to consider when creating a landing page in order to help convert them. I am literally going to take you from the top of the page all the way through and talk you through the elements that you need to consider. So let's start at the very top, your headline. This needs to grab their attention straight away. And one of the ways that you can do this is either presenting them with a solution or presenting them with the problem that they have. We need to grab their attention so they read that line and go, yes, I want that, or yes, I have that problem, or I'm struggling with that thing. And often what I see in that headline is a lot of words that don't really get to the point. Imagine you're your customer reading that headline. Would I go, yes, that's me, or yes, I want that? And the way in which I would describe this is you're either giving them the benefit or you're describing the pain. So for instance, you could use a line like, get 3 times more leads in 30 days. That's hitting the benefit. Or you could use a line that talks about low signups or low sales, hitting the pain. But that is super important that your headline, the biggest thing on the page, the first thing on the page, explicitly demonstrates either the benefit or the pain. The next thing we look at is the subheading. Now, this is just a chance for you to expand a bit on the heading. But one of the things that you can put in the subheading, which is so good, is you can basically preempt an objection that they might have. So let's say you are going to create a lead magnet about creating more content. You are a social media person and you're going to help someone create more content. What is the objection that they normally have when you say, I'm going to help you create lots of content? Is the objection that they think it's going to take a lot of time? Because if that's the case, that's what we want to put in the subheading. So for instance, you could say, create more content to get you more sales. This is a terrible title. Don't use this particular one. In the subheading, how to create more content without spending more time on social media, or without having to be a designer, or whatever it might be that their objection is. So the subheading should be a perfect place for you to preempt an objection that they have that actually you're overcoming in your lead magnet. The next thing you need in that top section, so we're still just in that top section, is an image of the thing they're going to get. So a mock-up. Now, people sometimes think, but it's a digital, it's not a real thing that they're going to get, but we need to show them what it is that they can expect. It is proven that if you can demonstrate what they're going to get, that they are more likely to opt into it. Now, you're obviously not going to show the entire thing, but often you do like a fanned out version of a PDF, or you pretend it's on an iPad. If you are using Adobe Express or Canva, then they will have templates for this, but you need to show them what it is they're going to get, but obviously make sure that you're not giving too much away in that image. Now, I have to say, my opinion is that if someone wants to screenshot that and zoom in to read some of the stuff it says, then good luck to them. But I just wouldn't give them the real easy opportunity to do that. So I would definitely have a front cover. That's what you would show. And then you would show that it has multiple pages, or if it's you doing a training for the lead magnet, you would show you on a screen, but you definitely need a mock-up. So in that top section above the fold, and what I mean by above the fold is when you're looking at a website, the thing you see first is above the fold. So you have the headline, the subheading, and your image of what they're going to get. And then the last thing you have in that very top section is a call to action. We want the call to action because there are some people that whatever got them to go to this page just want the thing. Don't make them scroll and find a call to action button. So under the headline, the subheading, we want a call to action button that basically says, grab your copy now, or download this today, or whatever it is. Now, there's a couple of points I want to make about call to action buttons on any landing pages. One, they need to stand out. My designer in me, I'm not a designer, but the person in me who likes things to look aesthetically lovely finds this very difficult, because it should jar on the page. It should stand out on the page almost garishly, so your eye gets drawn to it. Like I said, I struggle with that because I want the page to look pretty, but that is what it should be. Also, you shouldn't use that color anywhere else because you want that to stand out. So don't have it in all other parts of the page. The other thing you want for your call to action buttons is you want action words. You want first person action words. So if I'm reading it, that I read, yes, get me the download, or I want that now. So very strong action words, and also write them as if they're saying it. So that's the first four elements that are above the fold. So at the top of the page, when I first look at it, let me just recap that. It's the headline, it's the subheading, it's an image of what they're going to get, and it's the first call to action. So then as they start to scroll down the page, these are the other things I would include that will really help your conversions. The first thing is the benefits. So I would have a few bullet points on the page as to what the benefits of the thing are. So what are they going to be able to do, or how will things change once they download whatever it is that you're creating? So for instance, let's say we go back to our example of a content creation lead magnet. The benefits could be that they create content quicker, they come up with ideas, they're no longer stuck, they give them the framework, which make it easier and quicker for them to create content. So make sure that you put some bullet points as to what it is that they are going to be able to do once they download your lead magnet. Another thing you can have in this section as we go down the page is some social proof. Is there some testimonials or some mini case studies that you've had where it proves that what you're giving them in that lead magnet actually works? If so, let's get that on the page, because the people who aren't sure, the people who are scrolling down the page are scrolling because they need more proof or they need more convincing. And social proof is a great way to do this. If you've got screenshots of people that have DM'd you or comments in a group, use that. If you've got testimonials, make sure you include a photo and a name with those testimonials where possible. So the next thing is those social proof things. If you can get them in there, brilliant. The other thing I would include as they go down the page, so element number 7, so we've done 7 elements already, is some kind of mini bio as to who you are. Again, depending on how they found it, you might be running ads to it, you might put it on social media, you might put it in your emails. However they find it, someone might not know who you are or what makes you so credible. So a photo of you and a mini bio, or a list of like, this is who I am and this is why I'm good at what I do, can really help on that page. But like I said, we're putting it further down. So the people who do know you and trust you and like you have already had the opportunity to click the button and get the thing. It's the ones that need that extra convincing that actually, as they scroll down the page, we're giving them that credibility. We're going, this is a real person behind this thing. And then finally, the final element is the form, is the final call to action button. So you're going to have a final call to action button and or the form on the page. The form is the thing that they fill in. So it's the thing that basically says, yes, I want the thing. There's a couple of considerations. First off, do you have the form on the page or do you not have the form on the page? Well, to be honest, in all of the data, the experience, the research I've done, the difference is not big enough for me to recommend one thing or another. Also, depending on the system you're using, some won't allow you to do that as a pop-up. It will just have to sit on the page. So let's not worry about that, whether you just have it click to a pop-up or whether you have it actually on the form, on the page. Let's not stress. The key thing is that the call to action at the bottom will go to that form if you have it on the page. So normally in these systems, you can, when you have a button on the page, it can say, what do you want it to do? And you would say, throw it down to that section of the page. But the key thing with the form is to not ask too much stuff. Like I said, when someone is coming to your landing page, you've already got over the hurdle of actually getting them to there. But there are many other hurdles. And one of those hurdles is Do I trust what I'm seeing? Do I want it? Is it going to be beneficial to me? And hopefully the suggestions I've made for the page are going to help with that. The next hurdle is, what do they want me to do to get it? So if I suddenly start asking you for your name, your number, your inside leg measurement, the color of your hair, I am going to be like, no, thank you. We want to ask the most minimum amount of detail that we can. Now, the most minimum technically is just your email address. The next, which is what I tend to go for, is give me your first name and your email address, because obviously when it comes to sending emails, I like to use their first name. So keep that form as slim and as simple as possible, because otherwise that is going to become a big stumbling block when someone goes to opt in. That is your 8 elements of your landing page. So let me recap through all of them. So element number 1 is to have a really good headline that draws them in immediately, either by the benefit or the pain. Element number 2 is a subheading where you get to expand on what it is you're giving them, but also you get to meet a potential objection that you can fit in there as well. Number 3 was to have an image of the thing that you are actually giving them, a mock-up or something like that at the top of the page. And number 4 was a call to action button. And all of this should be above the fold, i.e. when you open it on a phone or a website, whatever, that I see that first. The next sections going down, so number 5 is that I want a list of the benefits that they're going to have once they get this free download. Number 6 is that you give me some social proof. You show me that you've worked with people and you know what you're talking about. Number 7 is an introduction to you with a picture of you, ideally. And number 8 is that form needs to have as less friction as possible. Ask them for as least information as you can possibly get away with. Hopefully just their name and their email. Now is the time for you to head back and go and take a look at your landing pages and see what tweaks you need to make. If you are a course creator, membership owner, or coach, then make sure you hit the subscribe button to get notified when I next do a video.